Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here, coming at you with another trail tip, and today I'm going to show you how to make these. No, these are not pillows for your cat. These are desiccant packages. These are the packages that you throw in with equipment and gear and your toolboxes and stuff to absorb moisture. They do the exact same function as the ones that you find in the products that you buy. These are some that I've saved. The problem I have is the material that these are made out of is almost like paper as opposed to cloth, and so I find they do wear out, so I don't use these that often. I make my own out of a cotton material, and so I'm going to be showing you how to make them out of just plain old cloth. This is some cotton paisley that I made some bandanas with, and I had plenty left over, and so I've just been slowly making desiccant packages. The only other thing you need is a desiccant, and I just went to Walmart and got this 4-pound package of desiccant, and you'll notice the cats, it's kitty litter. You find this in the pet department. You go to a pet store, you can find it too. This 4-pound bag of desiccant or silica gel cost me $4.53. And I put about 20, 21, 22 grams in each one of these. So it works out to about 7, maybe 8 cents to make one of these. 7 or 8 cents. When you go to the store or you get on Amazon or a gun dealer's website, and they're going to charge you 10, 15, 20 bucks for the same thing. Not exactly, in a cloth, it's going to be in a metal container, but still, the principle is the same. It's going to absorb the moisture. Now, what does this stuff look like? I keep it in this ice cream container. It just looks a lot like the salt that you put on your sidewalk in the winter to de-ice it. This particular product happens to be blue. I've seen it in different colors, but like I say, I was able to fill this container up for $4.50, and you can see I've used about maybe a fourth of it. Like I say, I make these for about 7 to 8 cents using some cloth, and I just have a template that I made out of a piece of cardboard off of a box of cereal. Tells me how big to cut it, and even though I don't put 25 grams of desiccant in each one, I'm down to about 21 grams to do this. I found 25 was just a little bit too much for these. But anyway, they're very simple to make. I know some people like to use Altoid tins. There's nothing wrong with that. I just have a better use for my Altoid tins than this. If you want to sit there and take the time and punch holes or drill holes in one of these, that's fine. Go right ahead. So right now I'm going to show you how to make your homemade DIY, very inexpensive desiccant packs. These are great for tossing in ammo cans, in your toolboxes to keep your tools from rusting. We all know moisture is the bane of tools and ammo and guns. I put some of these in my gun safe. You can put them in your camera bag, keep your camera gear dry. And I mean, you just can't go wrong. There is one problem, you notice, because it's made out of cloth. You're going to have to know how to sew. So let's clear all this off and let's get started. Okay, once I've got the material marked out with my pattern, I just go ahead and cut them up. These are 5-inch by 6-inch rough cut. I take them over to my ironing board and hit them with the iron. And of course, you want to use a temperature of your iron that matches the material. I'm using cotton, so I've got a rather high setting on here. If you're using polyester, you want to use something lower. And I cut the corners off because I'm not making these pretty, I'm making them functional. I know there's better ways to sew things like this up, but this is the speedy way that I know how. I just roll the edge over and then roll it over again, so the rough edge of the material is on the inside of that rolled over seam. I hit it with an iron and spin it around so I can put my pin in. I want my pin in a certain direction because I'm going to be feeding these through the machine a certain direction. And then I take the long end, roll it over once, roll it over again. Again, this is just a speedy way of doing it, as opposed to what many people say, well, why don't you do it this way? It looks better, and I don't care what these things look like. They're utilitarian. Nobody's going to look at them. I'm not trying to win a contest with them. I'm just trying to crank them out quick and easy, and because they're just functional. And on the long end, I find it takes a couple of pins to hold it in place, and once I get that done, they're ready to sew up. I only do this on 2 sides. I want to leave the one end open because I still need to put the silica gel in it. With that done, it's off to the sewing machine. And if it looks like I am going fast here, it's kind of an optical illusion because I'm speeding the video up. I'm not that fast of a sewer. So I'm going to speed the video up so you don't get bored. watching me sew this thing up, but it's pretty basic sewing. You want to use a wider stitch, and you want to use not just a straight stitch, but a stitch that I can't think of the term. It weaves back and forth, left and right. And you can kind of see my settings there on the sewing machine. It's not a straight stitch. It's a one that goes back and forth. And sometimes I have a little bit of problems getting things to go the way I want. And once I get to the end, it's just a matter of doing a back stitch to lock the stitching in. And now I'm ready to put in the silica gel. Now, my template says to use 25 grams. I'm finding I have to cut that down to about 20, 21, sometimes 22 grams. And I just measure it out using the tare function of my scale. When I've got it measured out, I think that measured out to be 20 inches or 20 grams. And I use a regular funnel. I need to find another one that I can cut down because the end of this is so narrow that I have a hard time getting the silica gel to work its way down through the funnel. So one of these days I'm going to get ambitious and just go buy another funnel and cut the end of it off so I can just zip, bam, and I'm done with this. But I am speeding this video up for your sake so you don't get bored. Once all of it is in there, I just give it a shake to settle it down in there to give me enough room to, again, fold the end of the material over and fold it over on itself again so that rough edge is on the complete inside of the material so you can't see it. And hit it with a pin and it's off to the sewing machine for the final sewing the final edge there. And at this point it's just basic sewing. You just got to be careful how you handle it and make sure that the silica gel is out of the way of your presser foot. But once I get everything lined up, it's do a back stitch so it locks in the stitching. And this is about as easy of a sewing project as you'll ever find. Get to the end, do a back stitch, and there we have the finished product of ready to use silica gel pack. All right, and that's all there is to making your own homemade desiccant packages. Just cut off the scrap threads and toss them into your ammo cans or your gun safe. This is the very basic size. You can make them smaller, you can make them larger, but you can definitely make them a lot cheaper than you can buy them. So one other tip I'm going to show you is when I use one of these in an ammo can that I'm going to take out to the range. Let's say this is full of ammo. I will have one of these in there, and I also put a Ziploc bag in with it. I don't put the desiccant in the Ziploc bag. I put them both in there separately when I store my ammo. This way, when I go out to the range, and this is going to be open for a few hours, I can take this desiccant package, toss it into this Ziploc bag, and that will keep it from absorbing all the moisture in the air while it is open. Then when I'm done shooting at the range, I simply take it back out, close it back up, and it's ready to go back into storage where I keep all my ammo. If these have been out for a while, which these have, the way to reactivate these is simply toss them, lay them out on a cookie sheet, put them into your oven about 170, 180 degrees. I wouldn't go over 200 degrees, and just let them sit there for about 12 hours overnight in the oven, and they'll all be recharged. If you don't have a use for them, put them in a airtight, watertight container, like a ice cream container or a margarine container, Ziploc bag, whatever you want. But you can reactivate these over and over again. And like I say, you can make them any size you want. I put one of these in each ammo can and a couple of them in my gun safe and all this kind of stuff. So this is Backpack Hat coming at you with another trail tip. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment on my videos. And I'll see you out either on the range or on the trail.